Hey, what's up? It's RobREACTs back with another one, and today we got a little something different. This one is a BTB Savage gunned down just days after VLADTV interview. So BTB Savage obviously is a rapper. I haven't really heard a lot of his stuff. I didn't know about whatever beefs he had. Apparently he did get shot in the arm, but he did. I guess they killed the guy that tried to kill him originally, something like that. But then he was bragging about it. I'm not sure. I only know little loose stuff, so that's why I'm like, let's watch this together and see what really happened. Rest in peace to everyone that lost their life, though, because it ain't a game out here, man. But at the same time, you never want to, you don't want people to lose their life.
Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 1090 Jake, man. I'm rocking with y'all, y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're going to be speaking on BTB Savage being shot and killed just days after his VLADTV interview. February 3rd, 2023. Just before 11:30 p.m., the San Antonio Police Department responded to the Augusta Flat Apartments after reports of a shooting.
Apartments?
Officers arrived on scene, making their way to the 4th floor, where they located an apartment door with nearly a dozen bullet holes going through it. Inside the apartment, a man lay dead in a pool of his own blood. He was identified as 34-year-old Omar Richardson, a convicted felon who just recently was released from federal prison after a 33-month sentence for distributing marijuana with a Draco. He was on federal supervision at the time of his death. Officers would be notified of a male gunshot victim arriving at a local hospital, and investigators would be sent to speak with him in regards to the shooting. 26-year-old Daryl Gentry had been shot in the elbow, suffering a fracture, and had passed out at the hospital from loss of blood. Once awakened and comfortable, he broke down to investigators what had happened. Going by the name BTB Savage, Daryl explained he's a rapper who was asked for a feature by someone he somewhat knew. Being that it was already late, Savage just wanted to get the feature over with and make his money, but when he said he was missing certain recording equipment, the alleged artist named Ishmael claimed to have it, which set off a red flag in Savage's head. He hesitantly decided to invite them over anyways. They'd arrive in a vehicle with multiple people inside, and Savage would ask who they were, as he was unsure if they were just dropping Ishmael off or planning on coming inside. Ishmael would say they were his crew, but said to just let his uncle come, and asked if his uncle could use the bathroom. His uncle was really his stepfather, Omar Richardson. Everything was cordial on the way to the apartment, but Savage would notice how when Omar went to use the bathroom, it seemed he was taking the opportunity to look around and see who else was inside. Savage had been alone with just his fiance and his 4-year-old son. Getting the equipment ready, Ishmael would notice he was missing something, and Omar, the pretend uncle, would tell him to go get it. Another red flag as Savage wondered why the artist was going to get the equipment instead of Omar. Ishmael would leave the apartment and Savage would lock the door when Omar would say he wasn't on that type of time before pulling out money to show nothing funny was happening. He'd compliment Savage's chain, ask if he could smoke, and the two would start rolling up when Savage took out his own gun, placing it on the counter. At that time, Omar grabbed the gun, asking him what type it is. Savage would tell him he's making him uncomfortable and ask for the gun back when Omar turned the gun on him, pulled his own gun out, and aimed the second gun at Savage's fiance who was sitting on the couch. He demanded the money Savage was seen flexing on Instagram and demanded his jewelry. Savage would go to take off his chain when Omar moved in, and Savage wrapped up while the two wrestled to the ground as a shot went off. Savage's fiance was able to get control of one of the guns, while Omar was on top of Savage. She fired twice, striking Omar while the two continued wrestling on the floor. As the two wrestled in blood, shots started firing through the front door into the apartment by gunmen outside. His fiance would fire 2 shots back out the door when Savage told her to shoot Omar again. She'd aim, fire, and strike Savage in the elbow, fracturing his bone while his arm went limp. She'd shoot Omar again as the bullet wounds now started to take a toll on his dying body as he tried to get up only for his legs to buckle. He'd then crawl while Savage placed his hand over Omar's, firing the gun to empty out the ammo. Once Omar realized he was defeated, he started begging for his life. Savage would take his sleeping son and fiance from the apartment, leaving Omar to die as they made their way to the hospital. Investigators would tell Savage they were ruling the shooting as self-defense, and behind the scenes, a relative of Omar's would reach out to Savage, telling him his brother was in the wrong for what he did, especially with Savage's son being home. He'd further state there was no beef and they were willing to accept the loss, and it would seem things would be able to move forward without consequence, until social media lit a fire that couldn't be put out. VLADTV would get in contact with BTB Savage for an interview, and according to a source close to BTB, had to somewhat convince him to do the paid interview by promising how viral he'd become and saying he'd promote the mixtape. Those close to Savage, especially family, warned him to leave it alone.
Damn, bro. So doing the Vlad TV interview with God, because the dude that he killed, the family was even saying, bro, that dude showed out. We ain't got no problems, no, you know what I'm saying? Hey, if they say that, bro, you can't really go. I mean, you can't really go bragging about this shit. I mean, I don't know, man. You might ruffle some feathers. I don't.
This interview would be the match that lit the fire. March 26, 2023, Vlad TV would post a 31-minute long interview titled BTB Savage on him and his girlfriend killing a man who tried to rob him. With the views rising, BTB saw how much he could capitalize off the situation, and 2 days later, posted a picture of himself standing in the dry blood from the crime scene with a caption reading, "Fast forward a death day, make him meet his maker. Broke, beefing, make his mama throw a fundraiser." BTB was now mocking the death of Omar, who he technically didn't even kill, and Omar's family didn't hesitate to respond. A member of Omar's family sent a message promising to make his mama cry how their mama cried. Savage's own mom would call him telling him to take the picture down, but he wouldn't do it. He told her the man deserved what happened after trying to rob him and threatening to kill his family. He said if it had been him that died, they'd be bragging about it online. And he was right. March 30th, 2023, BTB Savage would post 2 more graphic pictures to his Twitter at 5:04 p.m.
Why, bruh? Why? The interview was enough. You shouldn't even have posted that first picture, bruh. It's like, you know how they say, well, I don't know if y'all know this, but if you ever go to jail, the clothes that you wear when you went in there, you supposed to throw them bitches away when you come out and never wear them again. It's like some rebirth type shit. Like, I ain't coming back here. Like, if you survived that whole situation, bruh, and you got the means, bro, you shouldn't be in there. You should already be out of that shit. But if you still had to live there for whatever reason, nigga, don't be taking pictures and celebrating shit like that, bro. Nah, bro. You only telling people come get me, bro. You telling people come get you.
p.m. An hour later, he'd be found dead.
You see?
His white Mercedes was sprayed with bullets when 2 shooters opened fire from within a vehicle before getting out and gunning him down.
Damn.
Witnesses described the shooters as wearing all black with black shades, and the suspect vehicle as a black Subaru.
Damn.
Officers arriving on scene immediately determined the shooting was targeted, with well over 50 shots having been fired, but wouldn't understand the motive as BTB was killed in Houston, 3 hours away from San Antonio. A source close to the rapper says he was told to leave San Antonio, if not the entire state of Texas, after the failed robbery attempt. Instead, he chose Houston because he had friends there, or so he thought.
Damn.
Fellow YouTuber Seti Nash would highlight the fact that the internet has indicted a Houston rapper after a self-incriminating post. BJ Goddamn would apparently take to Instagram with the post reading, "Hey, somebody tag Vlad TV ASAP, goddammit, and tell his ass BJ trying to see when he gonna do another interview with that BTB Savage guy. Probably never again, huh, doggy?"
Damn.
The post was deleted soon after, but was said to have been posted before BTB Savage was even identified as the victim. What's even more interesting is the fact that his almost all black outfit and black shades closely matched the description of the shooters that hadn't even been described yet.
Bruh.
A source close to BTB Savage states the picture of BJ was taken near the crime scene, and those that played a role in BTB's death were present at the crime scene after the fact. It's also alleged that one of BTB's own friends, who had a key to where he was staying, let one of the men involved in the murder into the apartment, where they stole all of BTB's clothes, money, and jewelry.
Bruh.
A family member of Omar would take to Facebook saying, "We having a block party tonight," followed by Bank of America sent that hit. They got tired of him taking their money.
Bruh.
The same source that provided me with information for this video has told me law enforcement received all the video evidence from the attempted robbery incident involving Omar. There is even more evidence involving BTB Savage's murder, which is now being investigated by the feds, and arrest can be expected soon. 26-year-old BTB Savage, or Daryl Gentry, was a rapper who portrayed to be a scammer, but in all actuality lived a very different life. Originally from Cleveland, Ohio, he'd moved to San Antonio at the age of 6, where one of his brothers was receiving cancer treatment. An honor roll student, Daryl would graduate with a 4.0 GPA before following in his mother's footsteps and joining the Army. Daryl wasn't from the streets, but understood to succeed in music, he'd need to look the part. He didn't portray to be a killer, and when a man tried to rob him, he fought back while his fiancée was able to wound the man so their family could escape. His biggest mistake was listening to the people that never cared instead of hearing those who did. His family warned him against speaking on the incident as the other family grieved, but the thought of the biggest interview of his career was too tempting.
Damn.
Knowing how rappers' careers infamously blow after beating murders, he saw the potential in him posting those pictures. While he could have taken his life in any direction he wanted, he chose to rap, chose to do that interview, and unfortunately can't change his decision. Now, I spoke with a reliable source that's very close to what happened. And that's why in this video you hear me say some things that don't exactly align with the VLADTV interview that BTB Savage gave. But trust and believe, everything that took place inside of that apartment was recorded on video from inside and outside. Now, there's a lot of different ways to feel about this. He was mocking the death of the man that he didn't even actually kill. His girlfriend did it, but he saw a way that he could potentially blow up, and it happens all the time.
True story, man. Shout out to 1090 Jake. Yo, this shit is a crazy ass story, because I always be telling people, like, don't try to be. It really ain't nothing cool being from the streets. It's just all we got, to be honest. Like, you know what I'm saying? Anybody that's from the streets will be like, nah, I mean, you don't want to be there. You know what I'm saying? That's why when people get rich and they come back, they be like, why you came back to the hood? Some people never come back. You know what I'm saying? That being said, there is a sense of community in certain situations, but at the end of the day, in his situation, honor roll, I don't know what happened where he went to the military but then decided to come back and do rap. That being said, he was talking about, he was more, his rap was more about scamming and shit. So, you know, but it is what it is, bro. I think he still would have been alive had he not been bragging on that situation where they killed Buddy. Especially since he ain't killed. I mean, I guess it's better that his girl didn't get killed because she was really on some self-defense shit. But him bragging about it, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, rest in peace to everybody that lost their life. That's a crazy situation, man. Like, that's terrible. But anyway, let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll holler at y'all next time.